to you. And now for your starting lineup. First for the Pioneers, at forward, number 2, Emily Long. At mid, number 4, Sydney Aldridge. At mid, number 5, Maddie Slaughter. At mid, number 6, Madison Mullen. At mid, number 8, Maddie Morgan. At defender, number 10, Gracie Bowling. At forward, number 12, Catherine Harney. At mid, number 13, Avery Hoover. At defender, number 17, Sophia Sparks. At defender, number 23, Grace Miller. And in goal, number 95, Libby Bringard. The Pioneers are coached by Natalie Hernandez and assisted by Janae Sen. And now starting for your Southern Virginia University Knights. Number 2, Ellie Edney. Number 8, Ashley Torgerson. Number 10, Jocelyn Marino. Number 14, Sydney White. Number 17, Karenna Olson. At 21, Rochelle Chutkong. 23, Audrey Troff. Number 27, Rachel Immel. And in goal for the Knights, number 12, Paola Nunez. The Knights are coached by Camille Lamb. Thank you and good luck to both teams.
Good afternoon, everyone. We welcome you to the fields at Southern Virginia University at Knight Stadium for today's NCAA Women's Division III field hockey matchup between your Southern Virginia University Knights and Transylvania College. My name is Quinn Meyer, and alongside me in the booth today is Tyler Wright. And a very nice afternoon for field hockey today. The Knights entering their 3rd game of the season. Transylvania College are already making this their 6th. And the Knights coming in winless so far after a hard-fought first game against Ferrum in their home opener, and then against Sweetbriar the other day. And Tyler, you were talking a little bit with the field hockey athletes this morning, and what was the message that they got from their coach leading into today's game?
Well, they're expecting more of a defensive game today. You know, both teams are coming off 2 losses, and coach right now, we're looking to improve. SVU has been steadily improving over and over again. This is a team full of young girls, a lot of freshmen, and the coach said going into here, she has 2 main goals. She wants the team to communicate, and she wants them to communicate well, and then she's just looking for them to be united, which the team says that's what they think is their strength right now. They're really united, and they're a good team. They have a good team bond, and they just want to fight till the very last second, and that's what it's going to come down to today.
Absolutely, and communication certainly will be key, as the Knights are playing 2 women down, as 2 of their players have been injured in the past few days, so they'll play 9 versus 11 to start today's game. And the Knights had possession to start things off. They quickly turn it over, but then gain it back from Transylvania. Stoppage in play. And that'll bring up Ashley Torgerson to get things going again. So as Tyler mentioned, a lot of opportunity to grow and learn, being also a very young team. And they'll also rely on their captains, Karenna Olson and Rachel Immel, 2 juniors on the team this year. Obviously, the women's field hockey program here at SVU is still relatively new in their 5th year and have steadily improved each year. And we're excited to expect more of that from this year from the ladies. There's Ashley Torgerson again. She's going to swipe that one 10 yards in front of her, looking for her teammate Ellie Agnew. But that's going to hit a foot, and Transylvania will regain control. And Transylvania, obviously a part of a different conference, hailing from Lexington, Kentucky. They're part of the North Coast Athletic Conference, so the Knights don't see them all too much. But the similarity is they both played Sweetbriar College not too long ago. The Knights obviously coming up short in that loss, their second game of the season. But Transylvania also being shut out 1-0 just a few days ago.
Last season, these two teams met together at Transylvania College, and the Pioneers came out with a victory 6-2. And hopefully the Knights can undo history here today.
Nice shot that was able to skip over a couple of athletes from Transylvania. And the Knights will regain control, inching just a little bit closer to the opposition's goal.
I was like, that doesn't sound right.
This is Ashley Torgerson again, being guarded closely by a couple of Pioneers. Now for the Pioneers, Maddie Morgan's going to pick it up and try to sweep that one towards her teammate, number 13, Avery Hoover. And that'll bring up Grace Smilek, defender, a senior from Richmond, Virginia. She swipes it towards the middle of the field, and the Knights almost are able to intercept that one, but Transylvania back with it. Nice looking pass towards Emily Long. That's disrupted by a Knight defender. And that one's going to go off the foot of Jocelyn Moreno. And Transylvania will have it again. Couple of nice passes looking down low. That's number 8, Maddie Morgan. As a good opportunity develops for the Pioneers, but nothing doing. And the Knights will retake possession. That was Jocelyn Marino. She's a freshman from Hollister, California, out of Hollister High School. Now this is Maddie Morgan again for the Pioneers. Going to sweep it towards the front of the goal. It's up for grabs. And it looked like it might have gone off the foot of number 4, Sydney Aldridge. And fortunately for the Knights, they're going to stave that one off, and now it is Ashley Torgerson again with it. She's going to wait for her teammates to get set. Take a shot towards the left where Moreno is. She's going to find it to her teammate, Sydney White. But the Knights not able to get too far up the near side of the field, and the Pioneers will retake it. This is number 23 again, Grace Smilek. Or Smilik, rather. My apologies. Good defense by Ashley Torgerson. But number 2, Emily Long, able to shield it, swipes it towards the front of the net, but that's going to go wide. A lot of bodies in front of Paula Nunez. As Tyler, really is a great day for field hockey. Typically, early, middle September, it's very hot during a 3 p.m. game. But with a little bit of wind blowing, it's not too bad out there for the girls.
Yeah, perfect day to be outside, not too hot.
Appeared like it might have gone off the foot of a Knight, but it was from the other side instead. And now this is number 2, Ellie Agnew, picking up on the right side, the far side of the field. She's going to be intercepted by the Pioneers. That was a really nice play by number 6, Madison Mullen.
That seems pretty high, actually.
As a nice battle for possession, and the Pioneers retake control, and they're going to go quickly, trying to catch the Knights off guard, but Ashley Torgerson is there to intercept it. He's going to scoop it along the sideline. Looked like it might have gone out. But the Pioneers will retain possession. And speaking of Ellie Agnew on the far side, she has the Knights' only goal this year so far. That came against Ferrum. And the Knights are going to look to build upon that. Ashley Torgensen trying to find her teammate about 10 yards upfield. Pioneers are going to take control. This is Emily Long again, trying to find her way through 3 Knight defenders. Ashley Torgensen again is going to disrupt that. She's been heavily involved so far this afternoon. Now it's Ellie Agnew again.
Yeah, I was trying to follow where they're like hitting, but that did not work.
And the stoppage is going to go in the Knights' favor. And Ellie's going to wait for a couple of her teammates to come up the field and take this for her.
I don't have anything to film anymore.
So again, the Knights playing a couple of players down with just 9 due to a couple of injuries sustained this week. They're playing 9 versus 11. So a tough ask to come in and defeat a really solid team, Transylvania, with 2 less players. But the Knights are going to give it a go, and they're doing a solid job so far. Good defense, but the Pioneers back on the attack. This is number 8, Maddie Morgan, on the near side of the field. She's going to take a whack at it, and it's going to bounce up in the air, and it looks like it might have hit someone or gone a little bit too high off the ground. Ashley Torgensen was also there in the vicinity. It looks like the Knights are really relying on her, moving the ball up the field for offense, but also relying on her heavily in front of the Knights' goal.
But they're so bad that it doesn't really.
Bit of contact right there. It looked like Joss Marino might have given Emily Long a trip, but this is Maddie Morgan again with it for Transylvania, trying to scoop it in front of the goal, but Paula Nunes is going to get a foot to it and kick that out of harm's way. Good play by Paula.
That is hilarious.
And this is going to be a corner for the Pioneers. First one on the day for either side, as the Knights defenders getting set. Whistle's going to go, and here come the Pioneers outside the circle. Going to take a big whack at it. It's going to deflect off of Paula Nunes, I think. But the Knights stave it off. Really nice defense as they toss their masks to the side. And Tyler, you got to be pretty fierce to face those corner opportunities. You know, obviously, you got to put the masks on to protect yourself. But you know, you're coming at a really hard object, running towards it rather, trying to keep it out of your own net.
Definitely. I know a lot of high schools in different states, they'll play with the mask the entire game, but here in the NCAA, they only do them from corners, which, you know, gladly they should be able to. I mean, that ball, I don't know if you ever held them before. They're pretty hard. It's like solid. I don't know if it's wood or plastic, but it's pretty hard. I want to get hit by that.
Maddie Morgan was the one on the near side to take a whack at that. It looked like it might have deflected off a Knight defender. Pioneers retain control. This is number 4, Sydney Aldridge, trying to stick handle through a Knight, but they're going to intercept it. Real nice defensive play by Sydney White, the junior from Richmond, Virginia. And Ashley Torgensen is going to take this again. It's going to go off the foot of Maddie Morgan, so another whistle. Nice little poke check from Corinna Olsen, one of the junior captains for this Knights squad. The Pioneers still able to get it by her, and Ashley Torgensen will make this again. She's going to scoop that a little bit high. It goes off of the shaft, it looked like, of number 4, Sydney Aldridge. But a really nice play by the Pioneers to advance it. Looking for Maddie Morgan on the near side. They're going to sweep it to her. Now she's got it covered by Marino. She takes a whack, but a nice clear by the Knights. Ball is way up high, now on the far side, right in front of the goal. Nunes trying to look for it, trying to kick it out. Ashley Torgensen there also for the Knights, and eventually play is stopped, so a good defensive stand by Southern Virginia to keep it out of their own net.
Looks like we're going to have another corner shot here. The Knights are putting on their mask.
And for the Pioneers, Sydney Aldridge, Maddie Morgan, and Aubrey Rahia are the ones with the goals for them this year, as they're have an open shot on the far side. They whiff on it. That one goes towards Paula Nunez, but it goes outside, and the Knights will retake control. That was Torgensen feeding Corinna Olsen. That one looks like it might have gone off a foot of a Pioneer. It does. And that brings another stoppage of play. So the goalkeeper for the Knights, Paula Nunez, put under pressure already early in this one. Just 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. She has 20 saves on the year. And already has a few this afternoon against the Pioneers. Really nice stick work by the Pioneers to get by the Knight defenders. But Ashley Torgensen's going to steal that one right back.
Are you still on Twitch? Oh, okay. 'Cause I was wondering, because Twitch hadn't been sending me notifications that you've been doing it. It's really annoying.
You know, we've talked a little bit about Ashley Torgensen already, and how, you know, the team seems to be relying a lot on her. And she's a sophomore, so she's one of the more experienced players on this team. And, you know, Ashley Torgensen, she's one of those players that offensively this team counts on. She is probably the #1 intended target when SVU's on the offense. You know, she's always the one to take the shots. And you can see, you know, offensively, you know, you'll see her and Corinna Olsen, the team captain, number 17 on the field. Those two players for the Knights are their offensive stars.
Now Maddie Morgan trying to go by Marino. She's going to feed her teammate Avery Hoover on the near side. That's going to deflect off Marino. And that'll go in the Knights' favor. Jocelyn tossing the ball back to the sidelines. And Torgensen will start things up again about 15 yards outside her own net. And Olsen going after that one, but the Pioneers take control. This is Maddie Morgan again. Nice feed in front of the net. That was number 5, Maddie Slaughter, with the opportunity.
We got one-on-one with the goalie right there, and Paula Nunez does what she needs to do to clear that ball out of there to relieve the pressure on the Knights' defense.
It looked like Maddie had some room there, and was worried that a defender was on her and maybe didn't take as much time as she wanted. Good steal by Torgensen. Pioneers are going to take that with Sydney Aldridge. That looked like it hit the foot of Rachel Emmel. Good steal by Marino. That goes off the leg of her teammate. It was Sydney White that it deflected off of. And we'll have another corner shot for Transylvania. So just over 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Game tied 0-0. Again, the Knights playing 2 players short, but they've handled it well so far. Lots of offensive possession time for Transylvania, and they'll try to convert for the first time here. Swept towards the top of the circle. They're going to take a whack at it right away. Really nice receive. I think that was number 17, Sophia Spark, still up for grabs. Now another whack at it. Good defense by the Knights. It looked like maybe a high stick there. Now Aldridge is going to take a whack at it. Goes out of bounds. Nice job by the Knights defense. Paula Nunez putting her arms up in relief, it almost seemed like, but also excitement that they're able to stave it off yet again.
There you go. We see some nice team unity.
So as Tyler mentioned, good communication appears by the Knights on the defensive side of things. That will wind down the first quarter of play. And both teams will go back to their respective benches for a drink of water and take us just a short break. So Tyler, what are some things you liked from the Knights, and what can they take from that quarter building into the second one?
Like we said going into this, we knew this was going to be a defensive game, and the Knights, like we've been saying, they're 2 players down. It's 9 versus 11, and so the Knights just need to make some opportunities to go down the field and score, and the same for Transylvania College. So far, it seems that momentum is swinging a little bit more towards Transylvania, but that's okay. As a team, the Knights, we fight to the last second, like they said, and that's what they need to keep on doing. And they've been doing so well today. Amazing performance by Paolo Nunez, that goalie, and the defense have been really working well together, communicating, and they're just making the most of the opportunities that they're given.
And if I'm not mistaken, Tyler, once regulation time ends, if there is a tie, then both teams move down to 7 players until there is a winner, I believe. And if that works out for the Knights, that would be a real boost for them as they're playing 2 players down.
That would be a good break for the Knights. The Knights still being a younger program, being down 2 players is not something that they're not used to. Last season, this was a common occurrence, in the season before that, and so this is a new territory for the Knights, and they've made done as it does in the past. They've been able to, gain momentum and win some games.
As Tyler mentioned, still a relatively new program. They've shown considerable improvement in the past couple of years, getting a program record 3 wins last year. And getting on the scoreboard a lot. A couple of blowout wins as well for the Knights. And if you're the Knights, you're just going to do your best to keep things in the middle of the field and avoid the Pioneers from getting it towards your goal and keeping sustained pressure on the goalie. Knights will get things started again. And Transylvania's going to steal that right back. That's number 12, Catherine Harney, in pursuit. Ashley Torgerson again there to disrupt things all over the field. Ashley is today. She's got Ellie Agnew on the far side. She's going to try and sweep it towards her, but it's going to get stolen. But now Ashley has it again. Nice stick work around the Pioneer attacker. That's going to be poked out of bounds, and Ashley Torgerson once again retains control. Really nice pass, looking for Ellie Agnew, also number 23, Audrey Tross, in the area. Good steal by Torgerson, but she gets upended by her teammate Ellie Agnew. And that allows Transylvania to send it deeper into the Knights' defensive territory. But fortunate for the Knights, there is a stoppage. Might have gone off a foot. And the Knights will take another free shot again. Really nice pass again by Torgerson. This is up to number 17, Corinna Olson, the junior captain out of Los Altos, California. That one almost deflected off of her heel, but she retains control still. Nice stick work. Really nice move to get around 2 Pioneer defenders, chipping it a little bit up high. And able to get a couple of juggles in there before there's another stoppage in play. Torgerson there to receive it on the sideline. It's going to be received by number 23, Grace Smillick. She'll feed it towards the middle of the field where her teammate Maddie Slaughter is waiting. Maddie, a junior from Houston, Texas, out of Clear Lake High School. Now This is Ellie Agnew, gets it lost on her feet a bit, and she'll just have to chip it out of harm's way, but the Pioneers retake control. Huge battle for the ball. That was the Knights' number 21, Rochelle Chukwang. Right in front of the goal, it's up for grabs, almost finds a way over the goal line, as it looked like Paula maybe didn't know where it was.
Yeah, that was a dangerous situation there a little bit for the Knights, but the defense eventually found the ball and got it out there to relieve the pressure.
Transylvania still with it. This is Aldridge with lots of room. She's going to put it through the legs of a Knight defender now. Maddie Morgan puts it off the side of the goal or off the pads of Nunez. And the ball will have to come out about 20 yards once again. This is Sydney Aldridge again, trying to find some room. She'll dribble around a Knight defender. But number 27, Rachel Emmel, another junior captain, is there to disrupt it. She's trying to buy time in the corner of the field, trying to get away from Gracie Bowling. But eventually she's going to be able to draw a call against them. She's going to have a quick chat with the official as well. The Knights do retake control. Torgeson's pass bounces off of the stick of the Pioneers, almost gets through to number 23, Audrey Tross. Transylvania trying to move it around the ring, none doing it, goes out of bounds, and the Knights retake control. That almost looked like it went off the shin of the Pioneers, but they're going to retake it off of the Torgeson pass. This is Sydney Aldridge with it.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
She was being pursued by a Knight defender. I think that was number 27, Rachel Emmel. But this will result in a corner shot. I believe the third on the day for Transylvania. Or the fourth, rather. My apologies. And they've been able to wreak a lot of havoc on these corner shots, Tyler. We'll see what they can muster this time around. I think they're able to get 2 or 3 open looks on the last corner shot, but couldn't get it by Nunez.
Yeah. Corner shots are perfect opportunities to score in this game, and I believe the one goal SVU does have on the season is from a corner shot.
And that one's going to go off the side of the net, and the Knights stave it off again. And they're really looking for an opening on that left side. I think that was number 12, Catherine Harney, for the Pioneers, who took the shot. Knights trying to work their way up the field. That one goes out. And the Pioneers will take it again. Lots of power behind that one. That's going to bounce right by Harney, as well as a Knight defender. And Ashley Torgerson back with it yet again. He's going to lose it to 2 Pioneer defenders. They're going to take control and have an opportunity. It looks like there's a stoppage, though, and the Pioneers will have it again. This is number 10, Grace Bowling. Good defense again. But there is a whistle. And I believe that's going to be another corner shot for the Pioneers. So the Knights having to dig deep on defense today. Again, being down 2 players and smartly opting to keep a full squad on defense. but they are having to work a lot harder to keep the ball out of the net. But so far, they've done well. Pioneers didn't get too much on that one. Now it's Sydney Aldridge near the top of the circle. And the Knights again stave it off. It looked like it was a broken play for the Pioneers. But Sydney Aldridge with it again. She's going to find her teammate, number 23, Grace Smillick. Back to Aldridge, trying to dribble her away. The goal right in front, and they're going to score. Pioneers finally on the board as Sydney Aldridge was able to dribble her way through about 3 Knight defenders. And Paula Nunez was not able to get back in time as she was swarmed by a bunch of attackers, and the Pioneers have built themselves a 1-0 lead in the second quarter of play. But quickly, the Knights back to work, going to try and muster something. As now being down one, they're going to have to see if they can find a way to get into the attacking zone and score one to tie things up. But I'm sure with lots of time still to play, they're going to really focus on their team defense and try and prevent Transylvania from increasing their lead.
No, I'm just ruminating myself.
And Tyler, another thing to note with now the Knights being down 1 goal, there are times when teams that are down do pull their goalie to get an extra attacker on the field, but this wouldn't work in the case of Southern Virginia since they are down a couple of attackers.
Yeah, you know, it's still just the second quarter in the beginning, you know. I wouldn't pull out a goalie right now.
Yeah, well, for the end of the game,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I certainly don't want to do that now. Wouldn't make much sense. But it often does happen at the end of games when teams are down 1, but obviously the Knights unable to do that anyways, being down a couple of players. This is Ashley Torgeson shielding the ball from Sydney Aldridge. That was Corinna Olsen going after it, and the Knights retain possession. Nice feed from Torgeson back to Olsen. She's going to find her way around number 5, Maddie Slaughter. A little bit of contact there. Torgeson, the sophomore from Herndon, Virginia, out of Westfield High School, not too far. A lot of different states represented on this Knight squad. And looks like we are going to have our first couple of substitutions on the day, obviously on the side of the Pioneers. Can't quite make out who that is coming in for Transylvania. And the Knights getting pretty deep onto the side of Transylvania, but they're going to turn it over, and now the Pioneers retake control. This is Sydney Aldridge being covered by Ashley Torgeson. Those two players have been deep in the mix for both teams today. Pioneers trying to make a run out of it. They got a chance. They got an open side, but that was quickly covered by Rochelle Chukong. She's also a junior from South Jordan, Utah, Harriman High School. That one's going to get chopped into the Transylvania zone. Ellie Agnew was in pursuit. Almost got there in time, but not quite. And a nice long pass by the Pioneers, looking for number 2, Emily Long. She has it. Being covered by Sydney White. Emily Long's going to get it to Maddie Morgan. A really nice chip pass. Now she's going to slap at it. Up for grabs. This is Sydney Aldridge going towards the goal up high. It looked like it might have gone off the pad of Nunez. And somehow it stayed out of the goal. So good job by the Knights again. This is going to be a corner shot. 5th one of the day for Transylvania. Something gonna bounce over a stick. Torgerson in a battle with number 17, Sophia Sparks. Torgerson trying to find Sydney White, but that goes over her stick. And back in the possession of Grace Smilek for Transylvania. Real nice, accurate pass for Sydney Aldridge. She's got Maddie Morgan on the right side, trying to deke her way around number 17 of the Knights, Corinna Olsen, who stands her ground. This is Aldridge again. Sending it towards the middle. It's up for grabs. Torgenson's there as well for the Knights to defend. Trying to find her way through a couple of attackers for the Pioneers. But she'll eventually win that battle. She's going to scoop that along for Moreno, but that goes through her legs and over the stick, out of bounds. Possession back to the Pioneers. Nice through the legs pass by Avery Hoover. Maddie Morgan trying to return the favor. That might have gone off a foot, and now Torgerson back with it. Quick pass towards the middle of the field, looking for Corinna Olsen and number 23, Audrey Tross. And Tyler, I kind of like the idea of Torgerson trying to get the ball quickly up the field. Obviously, lots of attackers towards the Knights' goal, so maybe Torgerson trying to catch them off guard and get some sort of attack going for Southern Virginia.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit, SVU's doing a good job of getting the ball to the other side. We've been seeing them down there more. It looks like the Knights are going to be knocking on the door of the Transylvania Pioneer side of the field. This is how they get back in the game, Gently just keep momentum shifting to the Knights. And we see that, offensively, they're being a little bit more aggressive in their play.
So the Knights have an opportunity here to go on the attack. Lots of Pioneers defender in the area. And good defense by Sydney Aldridge. And she deflected that high up in the air, and now Corinna Olsen's just going to go for it herself, try and drill stick handle through a couple of defenders of the Pioneers. They're going to steal it back, though. It's number 8, Maddie Morgan. Bit of a shoulder check there by number 10 of the Knights, Jocelyn Moreno, freshman from Hollister, California. Good defensive play by her, but that did go off something other than the stick, so Pioneers retain possession, but a good play by Corinna Olsen to retake it for the Knights. Trying to stick handle her way around Sydney Aldridge, who's been all over the field. Corinna takes it back, spins, swipes that really nice defensive play. Good hand-eye by number 23, Grace Smilek, to retrieve it for the Pioneers, because Corinna had Audrey Toss floating down the middle. Good play by Maddie Morgan. Chance for the Pioneers. Good save by Paula Nunez to reject that one and kick it out about 10 yards. I think Emily Long and number 5, Maddie Slaughter, were in the vicinity for the Pioneers, but a really nice save by Nunez.
Yeah, I thought that was going in, not going to lie, but great awareness by the goalkeeper for the Knights to knock that one out of there.
That pass goes off the calf of Sydney White, so Transylvania will take it again. Good defense by Moreno, a combination of her and Olsen. Olsen looking for the call. She's going to get it. She'll kick that back towards Torgerson to retake it. That one's going to go by Grace Smilek. And a nice looking steal by the Knights. That's number 14, Sydney White, the freshman again. Her and Audrey Tross are in pursuit. But the clock is going to run out on them. And that is the end of the second quarter of play, as Transylvania was finally able to get on the board and make it 1-0. But the Knights are playing very well, Tyler. As you mentioned earlier, focusing on their team defense, communicating, And it looks like so far they've been able to do that.
Yeah, a lot of good sportsmanship out there, for one team and for both across the aisle on both teams. We were seeing more towards the end, the momentum slightly going more towards the Knights. We saw some offensive pushes by the Knights, and, they're only down 1, and there's still a whole other half to play. So, I'm looking forward to what we're going to see from the girls coming up in this second half.
Now entering halftime, we will take a short break and be back with you in just a few minutes. Pioneers leading the Knights 1-0 at the end of one half. This is Emily Long, but that's rejected by Marino. Also blows, and that'll be against Transylvania, so Marino will take this one. So he'll toss it off for Ashley Torgerson. Torgerson, as we mentioned in the first half, all over the field, making all the passes for Southern Virginia. Lots of skill, and skill on display by Corinna Olsen, another fancy play. Trying to chip it over the stick and got a couple of juggles in there before it was called back. Grace Smillick. Stick handling up the far side. She'll slap that one. It bounces off the ground, goes a little bit high off of Marino, it seemed like. Melissa blows again, and Ashley Torgerson comes up to take this. She's going to sweep that one for Corinna Olsen. She's got some space about 35 yards outside the goal. She's going to slap it, looking for a shot on goal, but whistle's going to blow, and they'll call that one back. Libby Bringer not worried about it. Actually lets it go right by her and into the goal. But of course did not count, and the Pioneers back on the attack again. This is Emily Long.
You know, fresh out of halftime, we're seeing a lot of back and forth between the Knights and the Pioneers.
And again, a reminder to all you fans at home, there is the shooting circle, which you cannot score from outside of, which is why Libby Bringard was not worried about that shot and eventually was brought back.
Talking about some of the rules of field hockey, there's a lot of interesting rules that only apply to this sport, like you can't double team people.
And here's a chance for the Pioneers, a 2-on-1. Looking on the side for Bowling. Now New's going to try and kick it out, but she's going to miss it, and Bowling puts it right back in for the Pioneers, who grab a 2-0 lead on the Knights.
Excellent offensive play by the Pioneers of Transylvania to bring the score up to 2-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was Sydney Aldridge on the far side that was able to get loose and allow that 2-on-1 to happen, but she had Bowling cutting down the left side. And after Nunes tried to kick it out, she missed it, and Bowling easily put it in the empty net. So just under 4 minutes gone in this third quarter of play, and the Pioneers have struck again to create a 2-0 lead. Knight's going to try and fight back here. Torgerson was able to get it by a sprawled Catherine Harney. But Transylvania back on the attack again. That's number 5, Maddie Slaughter, sweeping it across for Emily Long. She misses it. Trying to chase that down before it goes out of the bounds. She makes it in time. And now Maddie Morgan with it. She is being covered by a Knight defender. And that'll go out, but a corner shot for Transylvania. Looks like that's Avery Hoover, freshman from Louisville, Kentucky. He's going to be the one to pass it in. Didn't get all she wanted on that one. And a good-looking pass now to Maddie Morgan on the near side. That deflects off of Nunez. Another good save. That was 2 good saves by Pella. And now Aldridge had it and was able to stick handle around a couple of Knight defenders, but eventually rolls out of bounds. And the Knights stave off another corner. So surprisingly enough, Tyler, the Knights have done a really good job on these corner shots, and the 2 goals that the Pioneers have were not through corner shots. This one's going to bounce in just past the pad of Nunez. She's down and sprawling, trying to grab it. This one deflects up in the air and goes in the net. And it is going to be a goal for Transylvania.
Goal Pioneers.
Nunez just trying to signal that it maybe deflect off a stick up too high. The Knights are going to confer with the official, but it does not look like this one's going to go in their favor. Lots of chaos right in front of the Knights' cage.
Yeah. You know, going back to what you were saying earlier about, you know, the Knights having good defense on those corners. You know, when I was talking to the girls a little earlier today before the game, you know, they were talking about some of their practices, and they were telling me something they called padding, which is basically they just practice the goalie, you know, putting a whole bunch of bodies in front of her, just practicing, you know, defending when there's a lot of people kind of in that vicinity of the goal. And it can be hard for the goalie to kind of block those shots when there's a lot of bodies right there next to the goal. And she's been doing a really good job of doing that so far today.
Good point, Tyler. So obviously lots of practice for Paola with traffic in front of the net, which is what she's seen a lot today and has done a good job on those corners. But unfortunately for the Knights, a couple of loose defensive plays have allowed the Pioneers to now gain a 3-goal lead. But the Knights looking to go on the attack themselves. This is number 17 again, the captain, Corinna Olsen. Co-captain with Rachel Emmel. Knights have an opportunity. Here's Olsen trying to get through some defenders, but it's going to be whistled dead. And I think that is going to be the first corner shot for the Knights today. So real good work by Corinna Olsen to free herself up and cause this corner shot. And it looks like Corinna is going to be the one to pass it in. Watch out for Ashley Torgerson on the far side. See if the Knights will try to set her up. Sydney White there to receive. And they will go to Torgerson. They'll look her way. She's going to send it back in front towards Moreno. She's going to try and get a shot on goal. It goes through the legs of Libby Bringard. And they're able to stave it off. Moreno looking for her first goal of the year. Really nice opportunity. But the Knights will have yet another corner opportunity. Their second consecutive one. And Tyler looked to be a pretty well executed corner shot as they're able to find Torgerson, who had lots of room.
Yeah.
And she fed a really nice pass on the other side from Moreno. Here they go again. And that pass didn't connect. And the Knights are going to have to quickly get back on defense before the Pioneers go back on the attack, as they basically sent all their players forward for that corner shot. Lots of room here for the Pioneers. Almost rolls out of bounds. It'll go off a foot. And I think that's going to be another corner shot for the Pioneers. So Tyler, right before the Pioneers take this corner shot, what did you like from the previous two corners of the Knights?
You know, there was some misdirection, kind of kept the defense on their toes. You know, they passed it first to, you know, number 14, Sydney White, before passing it to Ashley Torgerson, kind of leading the defense away from Ashley. And she had a somewhat open shot to take, and the defense for the Pioneers was there to stop it. But, you know, just keeping the defense on their toes, mixing up a little bit. You know, the next shot they took right after that, they kind of switched up a bit. You know, just keep the defense on their toes, keep them guessing.
Pioneers with a chance. They're going to go off the pads of Nunes right in front of the goal, and it's going to be another one for the Pioneers, I believe. That's Sydney Aldridge, who found herself all alone in front of the goal.
Goal scored by number 4, Sydney Aldridge.
And that'll make it 4-0 for the Pioneers. And I think that's their first successful corner shot on the day. Right after the Knights had a couple of golden opportunities on their own corner shot as well. And that was a good point, Tyler, of the Knights kind of were able to draw the Pioneers defenders towards Ashley Torgerson. And that found Marino all alone on the near side of the cage. Almost was able to put that in for the Knights. But eventually the Pioneers responded with a goal of their own to make it 4-0. This is Corinna Olsen. Nice job stick handling through a couple defenders, but that goes off her feet. And Bowling of Transylvania in control. A nice through pass. It almost gets there. And Maddie Morgan's going to have a chance and put it in the goal. And that'll make it 5-0. A really nice shot over the left arm of Paula Nunes.
Transylvania getting into a little offensive rhythm here in this second half. You know, they've had 3 or 4 quick back-to-back goals here to start the second half.
So some loose defensive play by the Knights early on in this second half has allowed Transylvania to extend their lead. Looks like the Pioneers are going to have a substitution. That's Madison Mullen coming off, the senior from Lindenhurst, Illinois. The Knights get ready again to mount their own attack. This is Ellie Agnew. Has the lone goal in the season for the Knights. Corinna Olsen's going to reset and find Ashley Torgerson. She's going to scoop it along. It goes off the stick, then the feet of Sydney White. That'll be called down. Then Sydney steals it again, though. Good interception by her. She'll spin and try to look for her teammate, Corinna Olsen. Corinna being pursued by number 18, Caroline Seward, who was a earlier substitution for the Pioneers. Battle for the ball between Ashley Torgerson and Emily Long, I think that was. No, that was Sydney Aldridge. Now Maddie Morgan, she'll turn to buy time and send it back for her teammate. Grace Smillick on it now. She's going to whiff on one that goes right to Corinna Olsen. And she's going to try and get some speed and find her way around number 7, Evelyn Bingham, who also as a sophomore and subbed in for the Pioneers.
You know, Corinna's been showing a lot of great stick work today. Some of the best I've ever seen watching this sport.
Corinna's going to get it through a defender, but that does go out of bounds just past the stick of her teammate number 2, Ellie Agnew. Ellie, a freshman from Iowa. Nice block by her. It does go off her shins, though, so Transylvania will take control again. Maddie Bolin whiffs on that one. Corinna almost stole that, and it will go in the favor of the Knights, fortunately. Now Ashley Torgerson takes this. She'll take her time, wait for her teammates to get set. Gonna scoop that one along for Corinna. Bounces off her stick, then Transylvania retakes control. Pioneers now on the attack. This is Maddie Morgan. She's got a couple of teammates in the middle who are gonna find their way around the Knights defenders. Look out, another dangerous opportunity. That was number 17, Sophia Sparks, trying to swipe it towards her teammate, but nothing doing. A good interception by Rachel Emmel, junior co-captain. Bowling's gonna find her teammate. They'll swipe it. Lots of power into that one, but it goes left of the cage. Paula Nunez not having to worry about that shot. And possession goes back to Southern Virginia. Torgerson's pass goes just by Sydney White and out of bounds. Maddie Morgan whiffed on that one, and possession back to Southern Virginia. So Tyler, back to your point about this Knights squad being a bit of a younger team. Looks like other than, sophomore Ashley Torgerson, a bunch of juniors and freshmen. Obviously Sydney White, one of those juniors that we mentioned, as the Knights, or rather the Pioneers, trying to mount an attack, but it's stolen by Corinna Olson. We'll slap it looking for Ellie Agnew. But Tyler, also going off of that, talk a little bit about how, they're a smaller team, but they seem to have really developed a good friendship and chemistry with each other.
Yeah, so, like you were saying, Ashley Torgerson's a sophomore. There's a couple of juniors on the team. Corinna Olson, Rachel Emmel, Rochelle Chukwuong. Other than that, they're all freshmen, and not a whole lot of experience playing the sport. But that's really a focal point of this team going forward. It's just developing that team unity, trusting each other, communicating with each other. That's how a program. That's how you're going to improve. Just that communication, that team bonding, and like I said, the girls that they think that is the strongest part of this team. That's their identity. Just fighting for the last second, trusting each other, working on strengthening themselves as a team.
Now the Knights in control, in attack mode right now with Corinna Olson. She's going to get it stolen right back, though. Number 5, Maddie Slaughter, trying to stick on out of harm's way, and a really nice move by the Pioneers. They've got numbers back the other way. Now Maddie Morgan with it. She's being pursued by Marino. Back for Evelyn Bingham. But eventually the Pioneers are going to swipe it a little bit too far for their teammate Catherine Harney, a senior from North Chesterfield, Virginia. And the Knights regain possession.
That was the outcome that I was expecting anyway.
Actually, Torgerson marches that a little bit upfield. She's got the junior Sydney White on the left side. She'll look her way. It does go past quite a few bodies, and Transylvania back with it. Good, powerful swipe, but it goes towards Corinna Olson. She'll steal it. put on the brakes. He's got Ellie Agnew going down the right side. Again, the Knights playing with just 9 players, so not too much room to work with in the offensive zone. That shot's going to go into the net, but it'll be outside the shooting circle. Second time that's happened for Corinne Olsen. And Transylvania regains control. So it really just looks like Corinna might be looking for a teammate to be streaking through the middle and hopefully intercept that shot and put it in herself. Nice job to shield the defenders from the ball. That's Maddie Slaughter, but she gets taken down. And the quarter will come to an end. That's the third quarter of play. It was a good one for Transylvania, and they lead at 5-0 going into the final quarter of play. And obviously not the quarter the Knights wanted. They were a bit more sound defensively in the first and second quarters, but they did get a couple more looks offensively, which certainly bodes well maybe going into the fourth quarter. So what did you like from the Knights in that third quarter, Tyler?
Yeah, you basically nailed it. Transylvania did score a little bit more on that quarter, but the Knights had a lot more opportunities on the offensive side of the ball that quarter, and they were just unlucky enough for Transylvania to capitalize on opportunities that they were given. But the Knights just making those offensive plays and just not giving up, fighting to the last second. There's a phrase that I hear a lot when I'm watching field hockey, and that's keep your stick up. Don't put your head down, stay in the game. And you're seeing that all those girls holding their sticks proudly, waiting to get the opportunity to shine.
So a very admirable job here by the Knights today, playing with two less players than Transylvania, just fielding 9 due to a couple of injuries. But as we mentioned, through the first 2 quarters, very sound defensively, but eventually that's going to wear on you. And fortunately for them, they did have a couple of offensive opportunities, but it seemed like they weren't quite able to settle in defensively after that happened, which led to a few Transylvania goals. But they still got 15 minutes of play. See if they can mount something and get on the score sheet.
Game's not over yet.
And Paula Nunes has played very well in goal for the Knights. She's faced a lot of shots her way with so many corner shots by Transylvania. Paula, freshman from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, R.J. Reynolds High School. Just about 3 or 4 hours south of here.
Transylvania is on the road again tomorrow playing Eastern Mennonite University. So they'll be on the road again tomorrow, just an hour and a half north here in Harrisonburg. And that's actually the next team the Knights are scheduled to play as well on the 20th, this coming Wednesday.
And I think the Knights will be in Harrisonburg as well.
Yes, they will.
For that matchup on Wednesday that Tyler mentioned.
Come support your Knights. It's only an hour and a half away.
So the Knights going to give it one last go. Coming back to the field. Got to be a lot of tired legs out there, as lots of these players like Ashley Torgerson, Corinna Olsen, these attackers on the field, also number 23, Audrey Tross, Ellie Agnew having to play lots of the field, having to come help on the defensive side of things and also trying to make an attack for themselves offensively. But this quarter will be a Transylvania's turn to start things up. Sydney Aldridge going to feed her teammate on the near side. They'll stick handle the way up. Now it's number 17, Sophia Sparks. She's going to send one towards the goal. Paula Nunes there to kick it out of bounds. And that's going to be a corner shot for Transylvania.
Now going into the fourth quarter, you saw the Knights coming out in like a 1-3-4, 1-3-3 kind of setup. They're kind of aiming more offensively this quarter, it seems like, trying to get some pressure on the Pioneers defense. But as you see, here, Transylvania was able to get the ball down, able to get a shot on goal, but Paolo Nunez was able to just kick that out, setting up for this corner right here. So the Knights seem to, hopefully this quarter they'll come out a little bit more aggressively on offense and be able to create some opportunities to score.
Bowling's going to receive that one. Looking for St. Aldridge, but a really nice defensive play by Ashley Torgeson. She's going to be peppered by the Pioneers, who steal it right back from her. And that's a good catch, Tyler. Looks like the Knights are going to try and send a couple more players up into the attacking zone. Try and get something going offensively, as the game might be a little bit out of reach just to play defense the whole time. Bowling making her way towards the net. That's going to go off the heel of Maddie Slaughter, unfortunately for them. And the Knights will retake possession. Nice looking steal, though, by Maddie Slaughter. She'll swipe it towards the goal. It's going to go through the legs of Paula Nunez, as there is lots of traffic in front.
There you go. We saw Transylvania kind of shoot that in from beyond the shooting circle, but there was a girl right there in the circle waiting, just tapped it in, went right between Nunez's legs right there for that Transylvania goal.
And maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there between Nunez and her defenders. They're huddling up a little bit to have a conversation. And it looks like Rachel Emmel might have wanted her to stay in the goal, as maybe she herself was in pursuit of the ball. But nonetheless, it will be a 6-0 lead for Transylvania. This is Ellie Agnew now. She's a freshman from Iowa. She's going to win that battle for the Knights, and now Ashley Torgeson will take this. Good steal by Gracie Bowling. And then Maddie Slaughter is going to set up Emily Long on the far side. She goes through the legs of Sydney White, the junior from Richmond, Virginia, appeared, and now the Pioneers on the attack. A good play by Rachel Emmel just to shovel that one out of bounds. And I believe that's going to force a corner shot. Oh no, they're going to take about 20 yards outside. And it looks like Grace Smillick, the senior, is going to be in charge of this one. She'll stick handle towards the right side. And they're going to try and shovel that one into the shooting circle, into loose. Emily Long goes down. Good defense by Jocelyn Marino. And the Knights regain possession.
When the game first started, we kind of talking about, the fact that these two teams are in different conferences. We have Transylvania College, who's part of the North Coast Athletic Conference, and the Knights, even though their primary conference is the USA South, that conference does not really field hockey teams. There's only one other team that does that, is Meredith College. And so SVU and Meredith College are actually Division III independents for this sport. And they play each other a couple times towards the end of the year, so we'll have the opportunity to watch that game. But looking at Transylvania in the NCAC, they're sitting about, middle of the pack in their conference standings. They haven't played a conference game yet. More of that comes more towards the later of their season. But, they're sitting at 2-3 right now and looking to improve and make a stand in the conference.
And they're on the attack again. That's going to deflect off the stick of Rachel Emmel. The ball is going to come back outside. And Tyler, as you mentioned, Meredith, another school in the USA South, also fielding a team. And the Knights, they've had quite a bit of success against Meredith in the past couple of years.
Yeah, I believe the historical record between those two teams is 5-4, favoring the Knights. So that's definitely a matchup to keep your eyes on down the road. We get to play them twice. I think it's the last 2 games of the season in late October. So.
Certainly will be a fun rest of the season for the Knights. A lot to look forward to. And Tyler already mentioned they will face Eastern Mennonite in Harrisonburg, just about an hour and a half away on Wednesday. Game time set for 7 p.m. But the Knights still have some unfinished business here, as lots of room in front. Sydney Aldridge took a whack at it between her legs behind Nunez and eventually goes in. As Sydney Aldridge went between her legs, then maybe also Paula Nunez. And I don't think she'll get credit for the goal, but it is going to be a 7-0 lead for Transylvania. That might have been number 13, Avery Hoover. Not sure if you can confirm that, Tyler, but it looked like she was also in the vicinity.
Looks like we're about to find out.
Number 12, Catherine Harney, assisted by number 7.
So it'll be number 12, rather, Catherine Harney. So nice moment for her. She's a senior from North Chesterfield, Virginia. Knights back in control. Sophomore Ashley Torgeson, a nice powerful shot, but no Knights in the area, and Transylvania takes control. Some good stick handling by number 17, Sophia Sparks, and the Knights are going to steal it back. Torgeson is going to look for Ellie Egno. It hits the feet of Sparks. So despite it hitting her feet, a good play because Ellie Agnew had some room streaking down the near side and might have created an odd man rush for the Knights. Another steal by Sparks. She's got room. She's got Sydney Aldridge, who she'll feed. Lots of contact there. I think that was Rachel Immel in there, and Aldridge has it again. She's trying to find room around Marino. It'll go out of bounds. And so a good defensive stand by the Knights.
Got a decent showing here in the stands today. We've got a few families coming here to represent Transylvania College. You can see the women's soccer coach down on the sideline, kind of rooting on the field hockey team. Good day to be outside and watch field hockey.
Certainly is a beautiful day in the Shenandoah Valley. Good visibility from Knight Stadium. Good steal from Sydney White, but she fans on it and loses it again. Transylvania back on the attack. They're going to whip that one towards the goal, but it's just wide. And I think that last hit a Pioneer stick. And Ashley Torgeson regains control. She's just going to scoop that one out of harm's way. This is number 6, Madison Mullen, also a senior. Good steal by Ellie Agnew. She's going to flip it ahead past Maddie Slaughter, but it gets stolen back. Not too much Ellie could do there, but nonetheless a good defensive play by her. This is Grace Smillick. Corinna Olsen was in pursuit of her. Good defensive play again, this time by Sydney White of the Knights. And that might have gone off Smillick, and the Knights have possession. Just about 7 minutes remaining in regulation play. Battle for possession as between Audrey Tross, the freshman from North Chesterfield, Virginia. Then's gonna roll this one into the Pioneer end, but a good play by Madison Mullen to disrupt that. She'll find her teammate Ari Garcia. Good ball movement by the Pioneers to get it into an attacking position, but eventually Evelyn Bingham's going to let that one roll out of bounds. Good pressure by Torgerson. Torgerson will take this one again. So we'll sweep it over a couple of Pioneer sticks. Audrey Tross trying to regain control, but she can't against Emily Long. Pioneer still with possession. Into the middle of the field now for Maddie Slaughter. And a chance for Emily Long. Swipes at it in the middle of the circle. But the whistle is going to blow the play dead. Good job by Nunes in position. Ashley Torgerson gives her a little stick tap. Now Corinna Olson back with it. Here on the near side. Good defense by Madison Mullen, but that's going to deflect off her. And Corinna Olson still in control. That'll bounce off the foot of Evelyn Bingham that time. So Knights putting a few more players forward. You got Sydney White on the far side. Audrey Tross is also there. That time Corinna was looking for Ellie Agnew, but it was a little bit past her, sticking out of bounds, and Madison Mullen back in control. Nice job to deke around Agnew, but Corinna Olson there to disrupt it. Looks like it went out of bounds. Knights regain control. Ashley Torgerson will take this, just barely across midfield. She'll scoop that one along. It's number 11, Ava Wiseman. She's a freshman from Louisville, Kentucky. Good play by her to get it upfield for the Pioneers, and they are back on the attack. Good disruption, though, by Jocelyn Marino. A battle for possession here. Then Rachel Immel was able to chip it over the stick of Maddie Morgan, where Marino can take control, as well as Sydney White. Sydney, a junior from Richmond, Virginia, attending Powhatan High School. Just over 3 minutes remaining in regulation play. Transylvania leading the Knights 6-0. But despite that, a good, real good effort and admirable job by Southern Virginia as they were playing 2 players short due to a couple of injuries sustained this week. So they were playing 9 versus 11. And have played some really good defense, but now they're pressing forward a little bit to get a goal. Nice play by Corinna Olson to get by. It might have bounced off the leg of the Transylvania defender. Corinna will take a look. She's got Audrey Tross on the far side, as well as Ellie Agnew cutting towards the goal. That's going to bounce off of, I think, Maddie Morgan in a tough spot on the outside of her leg. But she's going to retake control. Good disruption by Sydney White. She'll do battle with Emily Long. Sydney wants it in her direction. I think she's going to get it. Went off Emily Long last. Or they're going to confer for just a moment. And no, it does go in favor of of the Knights. Bit of confusion there. Corinna Olson trying to get something going with just over a minute remaining to play. And Transylvania is going to make a sub just before the end of this one. Audrey Tross and Ellie Agnew going to break towards the goal, but the pass by Corinna Olson is intercepted up high. Good play by Torgerson to take it back. She's got Ellie Agnew streaking towards the middle. Almost gets there in time, but a good defensive play by Grace Smillick. She's being pursued by Corinna Olson. Able to go through her legs, and they're going to call that one back. It went off the foot of Corinna. And Smillick will take control from there. Approaching the 1 minute remaining mark in today's matchup between the Knights and Pioneers of Transylvania College. Really nice job by Emily Long to find her way through. She's going to take a shot at the goal. Good save by Nunez. Another good save, 3 whacks at it. And a good job by Southern Virginia to stave it off. And not allow Transylvania to extend their lead anymore. Just 40 seconds remaining to play. Torgerson's going to go off the leg of Emily Long. Will result in another free shot for Ashley. Knight's going to try and get one more attack out of this, but it goes out of bounds just past the stick of Sydney White. And Transylvania will take control for seemingly the last possession of today's match. Good steal by Audrey Tross, but Whistle's going to blow things dead, and we are counting down to the end here as the Knights, being 2 players down, a really good effort by them. Played really good defense in the first couple of quarters, allowed up a few in the third, but also had some attacks themselves that almost paid off. But nonetheless, a good battle, good play by Transylvania as well. And Tyler, to wrap things up, what did you take from this game, and what can the Knights use going forward?
Going into this game, their 2 goals was to communicate well and to, be unified. And then, towards the end, you saw a little bit of miscommunication, which, given any game, you're probably going to have a little bit of that. But, just moving forward, working on, being one as a team. And it's tough when you're, 2 players down. It was 9-11 the entire game. You're unable to sub people in, but, just find to the last second, which, they did a good job. It was 0-6.
Yep, and the next time the Knights will be in action will be next Wednesday, the 20th, in Harrisonburg at Eastern Mennonite. Next home game will be against Lancaster Bible College next Saturday, the 23rd. We thank you for joining us in another edition of Knights Broadcasting and hope you have a pleasant afternoon.